You are probably wondering what exactly the raters are looking for on the writing test. Of course, the simple answer is that they are looking for your ability to communicate in English. But what does this really mean? How is this ability measured? What is the most important thing for you to work on? Is it vocabulary, spelling, grammar, sentence structure, verb tense, paragraphing? Well, it's all of these things and more. The writing test measures your ability to communicate in ordinary, day-to-day situations. It is not a test of academic English or business English. You will be asked to write an email and respond to a survey question. You will be assessed on how successful you are in these communication tasks. And success will come down to how well you express your ideas. Now, when we are talking about expressing ideas, what we really mean is how well you can develop those ideas. Let's look at an example of writing task 1. You recently changed to a different internet company because your friends told you about their low prices and good service. However, over the past week, your internet connection has not been working properly. After much time and effort, you got a technician to come, but he didn't fix the problem. Write an email to the customer service manager in 150 to 200 words. Your email should do the following things. Describe the problems you are having with the internet. Explain how the problem has affected you. Explain what you want the manager to do. Okay, here's my response. Hi. Internet still not working. Your tech guy was here, but that didn't really help. It's kind of inconvenient. I need internet to do my work. Can you fix it? That tech guy didn't know what to do. I really hope you can fix it soon. Joe. What do you think? How would you rate my response? It's not completely wrong. I've got the right general idea, but my response is pretty basic because I haven't really developed my ideas. At 46 words, it's way under the minimum word count, so there's clearly lots of room for development. If I sent this to the customer service manager of my internet company, my communication task would not be completely successful. The customer service manager would certainly have some questions like, what exactly is wrong with your internet connection? When did it stop working? How long has it been out of order? How urgent is this problem? What kind of resolution do you expect? I say it is kinda inconvenient, which sounds very informal, as if I do not consider this to be a serious problem. However, in my next sentence, I say that I need an internet connection for work, which does sound urgent. But again here, I haven't really provided enough details to fully explain the extent to which I depend on an internet connection to do my work. I mentioned the technician, but my description of his visit is not going to help the service manager understand what steps have been taken so far to address my internet problem. I also mentioned the technician in 2 different places in my text. It would be better to organize my email in such a way that I mention the technician's visit once and then move on to other information. There are other problems here too. My first sentence is not quite a sentence. I would need to say, my internet is still not working, or the internet at my house is still not working. I've also made another grammar mistake here. I need to add an apostrophe. Oh, and I don't need to capitalize fix here. These errors are a bit distracting, but they don't really get in the way of the meaning of my email. However, too many errors like this will add to the impression that I'm not that serious about getting my internet connection repaired. These are simple errors, and if I had checked my email before sending it, I probably would have been able to correct them. I'm not very clear on what I want the manager to do. I ask, can you fix it? And state that I really hope you fix it soon. But these 2 sentences do little to express exactly what it is that I want him to do. Again, I have failed to impress upon him how serious the problem is because I haven't provided concrete details in my request. I have repeated the phrase "fix it," which really isn't very helpful. Considering that I have only written 46 words, repeating words and phrases is going to drastically limit how much meaningful information I can convey to the manager in this email. I'm also short on polite and friendly language. Since I really want the customer service manager to help me, it's probably a good idea that I try to be a bit nicer to him. Let me try again. A big part of the problem the first time was that I didn't plan out my response. I just started writing without making an outline. So now, before I even start writing the email, I need to think about what it is that I need to say and how I'm going to organize it. Okay. So when I read the instructions, I see that I need to do 3 things. Describe the problems you are having with the internet. Explain how the problem has affected you. Explain what you want the manager to do. Each of these things is going to require several sentences if I'm going to fully develop my ideas. That means I'm going to write at least 1 paragraph for each of these 3 instructions. I have about half an hour to write my email, so I'm going to take a few minutes to make an outline to organize my writing. Notepaper is provided during the official test for this purpose. Okay, I have 3 instructions to follow, so I'm going to use them to organize my outline and just write 1, 2, 3 here. Describe the problems you're having with the internet. Okay. I remember I actually did have a problem once. My internet connection would come and go, and I would have to constantly restart my computer to get it back. Of course, I don't need to base my email on my own experience. I could just make something up. I'd better also mention how long I've been having problems. Okay, I'll just jot this down to help me remember what I want to say. That doesn't really explain the whole problem, though. It says in the writing task that a technician came but didn't fix the problem. I'd better come up with something to explain what happened with the technician. Maybe I'll mention something about replacing the modem. Maybe the internet worked while the technician was there, but then stopped working again. I hate when that kind of thing happens. Okay, what's next? Number 2. Explain how the problem has affected you. I'll say that I work from home running an online business. That is a situation in which I would really need a decent internet connection. And I'll be really specific about how this problem is affecting business. I'll say something about delays in customers' orders. The third instruction is explain what you want the manager to do. Okay, well, I want him to fix it, of course, but I don't want him to just send the same technician again. That didn't help at all. I'll ask for a different technician, or, even better, I'll ask him to pay me a visit. It might help if I threaten to go to another internet company as well. I should probably also include a deadline if I want a quick response. I'll say 1 week. Actually, I should probably mention this in my second section as well when I talk about the problems I am having. Okay, so that's my outline. I have a pretty strong sense of what I'm going to write about. This way, there isn't going to be a lot of repetition or confusion, and the raters will be able to follow my ideas easily. I'm going to start off by addressing the service manager directly. I'll write, "Dear Customer Service Manager." That will establish a more polite and friendly tone to my email. Next, I'm going to state why I am writing to him, and I'm going to do it in a way that is also friendly and polite in tone. I'll write, "I'm hoping that you can be of some help with a problem I'm having with my internet connection." Okay, now I'll explain the problem in some detail. I started to encounter problems with my connection 7 days ago. Every few hours I lose my connection and need to restart my computer several times in order to reconnect. Your company sent a technician to take a look. He said it was probably a defect in the modem and he replaced it with a new one. Although my connection appeared to be restored while he was here, the connection once again becomes intermittent after he left. This seems like a lot of information in one paragraph. My initial problems with my internet connection and the problems I had after the technician came seem like two different ideas. I think I'll split this paragraph into two and add a transitional phrase introducing this second paragraph. I'll write, "When I first reported this problem." That should help connect these two paragraphs. This is much better than just saying, "Internet's still not working," as I did the first time. I have added lots of specific details here, and instead of many short sentences, I have combined my ideas into longer, more complex sentences, which will make for a smoother reading experience. I am also showing the range of my vocabulary by using words like defect and restored. The word intermittent, meaning to alternately stop and begin again, is a particularly good one, as it very precisely describes my dilemma. Okay, on to the next paragraph, in which I will address the second instruction. Explain how the problem has affected you. I will provide details about my online business and do my best to make it sound like my problem is quite urgent. I run an online business from my home and depend on a reliable internet connection for my livelihood. These connectivity issues have caused delays in filling orders for my customers. I cannot afford to go another week without a consistent internet connection. Again here, I have tried to use words that will help the manager understand the urgency of my request for help. I say I need a good internet connection for my livelihood, which sounds quite serious. I have also used a variety of words to describe my needs. I refer to my need for an internet connection that is reliable and consistent. All right, now I can go on to the third instruction. Explain what you want the manager to do. I want him to either send another technician or, preferably, come and take a look himself. And I need this to happen soon. I'm going to have to be careful here with my tone. I want him to understand how urgent the problem is, how serious I am about switching companies, but I also wish to keep the tone friendly and polite because that may help persuade him to pay me a visit. I'll write, "I appeal to your expertise in helping me with this matter. Perhaps you could send a more experienced technician or come and take a look yourself. I am hoping you can take care of this problem within the next week before I am forced to change to another internet service provider." Here I have started off by flattering the manager a bit, referring to his expertise, because this might make it more likely that he will take a personal interest in my situation. Then I followed up with a deadline and a threat to switch to another internet company. I think I have achieved a good balance between sounding friendly and polite, but also quite serious. Okay, so when I check my outline, I see that I have included everything I wanted to say. The last thing I want to do is include a sign-off. I'll use regards here, which is a good all-purpose sign-off that sounds friendly and polite. I'll also include my full name here because that is also going to seem more polite and serious than just writing my first name. There's one last thing that I should do. I should take just 2 to 3 minutes and read over what I have written very carefully to make sure I haven't made any mistakes. It's natural for anyone to make a few small errors, especially when you're feeling a bit stressed during a test. When I read over what I have written, I do see that I have made 2 mistakes. Can you find them? The first one is here in the sentence, "Although my connection appeared to be restored while he was here, the connection once again becomes intermittent after he left." I am talking about a situation that happened in the past immediately after he left, so I should say became, not becomes. The other problem is in the next paragraph, I should say I run an online business from home. So compared to my first attempt, this time my ideas are very well developed and I have achieved quite a bit of depth of meaning. It may sound strange to talk about meaning and ideas when I am just writing an email to my internet company, but remember, the writing test is measuring your ability to express yourself in everyday life. So let's go back to the question at the beginning of this video. What are raters looking for? One of the main things that they are looking for is your ability to express well-developed ideas in ordinary, day-to-day situations. Grammar, vocabulary, spelling, paragraphing, and all the other elements of language use are important, but none of these needs to be perfect. It's all about how well you are able to bring all of these together in a way that clearly and effectively communicates your ideas in ordinary, day-to-day situations.